CrowdStrike CCFA-200b exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. Once a policy exclusion is created in the Cortex XDR console, which aspects of the exclusion can be modified later? A. All parameters of the exclusion can be updated. B. Only the associated groups and hosts can be updated. C. Only the detect, block, and file extraction options can be modified. D. The exclusion pattern cannot be modified. The answer is C. After an exclusion is saved in Cortex XDR, the detection pattern itself is locked for security and integrity purposes. However, administrators can still change operational settings like whether the exclusion triggers detection, blocking, and if file extraction is enabled. In Cortex XDR, why is the option to disable a detection useful? A. Allows administrators to set up test hosts for detections and later remove them from the console. B. Allows administrators to uninstall the sensor from a host. C. Allows administrators to list a detection identified as a false positive. D. Allows administrators to remove all endpoint data from uninstalled hosts. The answer is C. Disabling a detection is a way to manage false positives. It prevents Cortex XDR from triggering alerts for specific benign activities without changing global detection logic, helping reduce noise in dashboards and reports. In Cortex XDR, what happens to the API when detections are disabled for a specific host? A. The host will not generate any alerts until detections are re-enabled. B. Detections cannot be disabled on a per-host basis. C. The detection summary event will no longer be sent to the streaming API for that host. D. The host will not alert for 24 hours by default, or longer if configured. The answer is C. When detections are disabled for a host, Cortex XDR suppresses detection-related events for that endpoint. This also means detection summary event data will not be forwarded through the streaming API for that host until detections are re-enabled. In Cortex XDR sensor update management, what is the primary purpose of using host groups in update policies? A. To group hosts by business unit for reporting purposes. B. To group hosts in the order of sensor installation so updates follow the same sequence. C. To control update rollout speed and prevent network congestion. D. To assign specific sensor versions to selected hosts in a controlled manner. The answer is D. Grouping hosts in update policies allows administrators to target specific endpoints with designated sensor versions. This controlled rollout approach ensures stability and avoids introducing untested versions across the entire environment simultaneously. In Cortex XDR, when a host is assigned to multiple sensor update policies, how does policy precedence determine which policy is applied? A. Precedence only applies to prevention policies, not sensor update policies. B. The host will follow the highest ranked policy in the list, the one with the lowest precedence number. C. The host will follow the lowest ranked policy in the list, the one with the highest precedence number. D. Precedence prevents conflicting settings from being configured in the same policy. The answer is B. Policy precedence in Cortex XDR determines which policy takes effect when a host is in multiple groups. The policy with the lowest precedence number has the highest priority and overrides others for that host. When manually installing the Cortex XDR Falcon sensor on a macOS endpoint, what is the correct installation sequence? A. Install the sensor package, then register the sensor using the registration package. B. Install the sensor package, then register the sensor using the command line. C. Register the sensor via command line, then install the sensor package. D. Register the sensor via the registration package, then install the sensor package. The answer is B. For macOS manual installations, you first install the Falcon sensor.pkg file. Once installed, you register the sensor to the Cortex XDR environment via command line using the provided customer ID and connection details. This ensures the endpoint is linked to the correct tenant. In Cortex XDR, if the uninstall and maintenance protection setting is enabled in a sensor update policy, what is required to uninstall the sensor from a host? A. Maintenance token. B. Customer ID, SID. C. Bulk update key. D. Agent ID, AID. The answer is A. When uninstall protection is enabled, administrators must provide a valid maintenance token to remove the sensor. This security measure prevents unauthorized tampering or removal of the endpoint protection agent. In Cortex XDR prevention policy settings, which machine learning (ML) sensitivity slider is configured to detect or block only high-confidence malicious items? A. Aggressive. B. Cautious. C. Minimal. D. Moderate. The answer is C. The minimal ML sensitivity setting limits detection and prevention to only high-confidence malicious items, reducing the risk of false positives while still catching clear threats. Higher sensitivity levels like aggressive detect more potential threats but can generate more alerts. When installing the Cortex XDR Falcon sensor on a host with a slow internet connection, which parameter can be used to override the 20-minute default provisioning window? A. Extended window equals 1. B. Timeout equals 0. C. Prov no wait equals 1. D. Timeout equals 30. The answer is D. The timeout parameter allows administrators to extend the default provisioning window beyond 20 minutes. Setting timeout equals 30 increases the installation time to 30 minutes, accommodating slower network conditions without failing the sensor deployment. Your CISO wants Falcon analysts to view files and file contents locally on compromised hosts without being able to remove them. Which Cortex XDR role best fulfills this requirement? A. Remediation Manager. B. Real-time Responder. Read-only Analyst. C. Falcon Analyst. Read-only. D. Real-time Responder. Active Responder. The answer is B. The real-time responder Read-only analyst role allows users to inspect files and view their contents on endpoints without giving permissions to modify or delete files. This ensures analysts can investigate incidents safely while maintaining host integrity.